It's like I never really noticed how many art supplies I've had until you just like sit back and you look at everything you have. You're like, I've become an art hoarder. At least it's what it feels like right now. So I'm going to start going through some of my stuff, like this. This is a this is actually a giant makeup bag filled to the brim with art supplies. And yes, this is also more art supplies. It's like, how did I accumulate all this stuff? Like, I know most of this is a hoo-hoo markers, but still, there's like extra tiny stuff, like all of these pencils and everything that's in here, and a whole bag of washi tape in here, and there's probably more boxes of art stuff that I'm just can't find right now, which is probably a blessing right now. So I'm going to just go through everything I have here, and then probably do a giant swatchy swatch, and then see what I can throw away. This is going to be very interesting. Alright. I'm gonna first go ahead and go through the new stuff, try to find the new stuff, and just kind of throw it in the yay pile because I haven't, used it yet or have hardly used it. And obviously I'm going to keep those first. Alright, so this is what I currently have in my yay pile. So new markers, some brushes, my go-to brushes, some Sharpies, some paints, markers I've never even touched, my pencils, and a couple other products I'll probably just do my own videos on later. Stuff I want to review, stuff I want to do challenges for. So everything that I know for sure that I'm going to use is in here. What's remaining in this should be all my hoo-hoos, some sketching pencils I've had since I don't know how long, a lot of pencils, and then some random art supplies. I can't remember if they have dried out or it's no longer my thing. So that's where the swatching just really comes in. What works, what doesn't, what's really, like, I've had this for like 8 years and I should probably just go ahead and get rid of it sort of thing, or is it worth the money to just get rid of it and then I have to rebuy the whole set? That's kind of what I'm gonna be going through right now. So this is gonna be like an epic swatch. I hope that Steph from Doodle Day is gonna be very proud of me. Okay, so as I'm waiting for these Inktense swatches to dry, I kind of want to give a little rundown of what I'm thinking right now. So, start up with the top. I have an HB pencil, and at first I thought it said HB, but it's actually 6B, which makes a lot more sense. Be honest with you, a lot of these art supplies I've had, no joke, since probably about the time or before I started writing, which was in early high school, early to mid high school, so they've been around for quite some time. So I feel like I could probably get the same quality, if not, you know, like a brand new set of pencils down the road. So with that, I'm going to say goodbye to the little nubbies. Bye! Yep, I already got rid of a couple of brushes as well. That's all I have right now in the Nay. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. So goodbye to these. I have the Derwent Color Soft pencils, which I absolutely love. I don't use them enough though, that's my problem. And I think another problem is because it's like a good thing and a bad thing. It depends on the paper you have. I feel like because they are so soft and because I press down rather hard on my pencils, you can see there are times where like this kind of broke a little bit, so therefore there's like this extra little, you know, piece of pencil you don't really like, and I had to sharpen a couple of them, and that's also another downside on my behalf. I don't know if that's just me or if it's just the pencils or the sharpener, because I've had the sharpener forever, but I have a hard time sharpening these because they are so soft. They break off easily, so if I make one wrong move when I'm sharpening them, they're just gonna snap in half and I have to start over again. But overall, I feel like the color, the consistency has stayed true since I bought them way back when. So I feel like if I force myself to use these, I will. I just have to put them in my face a little bit more because they are a pretty penny to buy. I think just for the set, it might have been like $24. I could be wrong. I'll probably have to check it and then put it here for reference to make sure I'm saying that correctly. But I think all of these will be keeps for now. I'm gonna make myself use these a lot more, and which kind of works out because there are a couple pieces I want to color in that I don't think my Ohuhu markers will do justice. So color pencils, you're gonna stay. So, just grab a handful and mark it under the yay. Yay! Okay. Inktense. Another thing that is also Derwent. They are rather a pretty penny, again, but I feel like the consistency is true. I feel like these are stuff I still use on a regular basis. I used a lot of these as well during Mermaid as well as Inktober. So with that said, I think these are also keeps. The pens, I only have a small set of pens and I'm surprised that I don't have more, but I think that's also because I went through them so fast and I've already gotten rid of most of them. So I have my jelly rolls. I have to go through those a little bit more because I have 3 of them and I somehow opened all 3. So I'm gonna have to make myself use them more often. Brush pens, I kind of like them. I'm still trying to get used to them. Prismacolor, it's still like a very consistent color. I love it. The Micron 5 and the Micron 3. They're not losing their ink yet, so I mean that's a good sign. So those are also going to be keeps for now. Okay, so I already have these all marked. These are all going to be keeps. And now we're going to move on to more of the markers. I have a couple brands of markers. I have the Ecoline still. I can't believe I still have this one. And I know it's water soluble, so I'll have to do more with it, but I'm gonna do a swatch of that, see if it still works. My Winsor & Newton in the lavender color. I need to see if that one still works or if it's dried out yet, because I honestly think I bought this before I bought my Ohuhus. So this is actually the oldest marker I have. So we're gonna see if that still works or if it's dried out to bits. Another thing are all of these little paper mates. I'm probably going to do these first because they're in that weird, I feel like the weird category of marker and pen because they're very fine. So I want to make sure most of these still work. I got these during Christmas, but I've used them quite a bit. So I just want to see if they still are going to be okay or if they dry out fast because they are so tiny. And then I have all my hoo-hoos, and then I also have still these hashtag coloring markers, and I feel like most of them are going to be garbage anyway. But I really just want to make sure that, you know, they're garbage before I actually throw them into the garbage. So I'm gonna turn the page over because I think this is all dry now. Perfect. All right, and then we're just gonna go move on straight to our markers. So this is my swatch for all of the hashtag coloring ones. A lot of them, I just, like, I know I got them clearance and there's a reason why. I mean, a lot of it is clumping up. The swatches aren't going on super duper well, and they also are leaving this extra residue. And I don't know if you guys can see it at all, but it's not pleasant, and honestly, I think a lot of the colors I have that were remotely good in this, I have in my hoo-hoo, so yeah. How about we just go ahead and skip straight to the hoo-hoo swatch because that's one I'm excited for. Right here are all the hoo-hoo markers. I'm actually surprised that so many of them are still good after a year. And I think a lot of it is because I've been doing kind of like your basic marker care. You leave them sideways as much as possible. You try to make sure that when you're pulling out the cap, you're doing it slowly so it doesn't just get this burst of dry air straight into the marker. I've been trying to be very careful with these, and I'm surprised. I almost feel like it shows how much I've used these versus, or certain colors I've used over others. Like, I could see that, for example, this black was the most gorgeous thing coming out, and it's the smoothest one of them all, and I think it's just because I don't really use the black marker. But if you go to these lighter colors, like, for example, this gray, this super pale gray, I've been using it quite a bit, and I could tell that it's really scratchy on kind of both sides, both the chisel tip and the bullet nib. The bullet nib was a lot more, you know, drying than the other, but another one is this color. I'm realizing a lot of the colors that I'm pointing out that I know are going bad are the ones I've used the most, or are my go-to colors, which is very sad, but it gives me a good excuse at this time to either challenge myself to either use the brush that works, or just use more of the colors overall. So I'm really excited to do something with that. I might actually do a certain, like, try to force myself to use more colors outside of my go-tos. And I think that's a really good thing to do, right? I mean, you experience everything. So with that said, this is all I have left. I'll show you my nail pile, because heaven knows my nail pile, I feel like this makes it look like I made no progress at all, but I promise I did. I got rid of these guys and basically a lot of dinky stuff that I just wasn't using. And I mean, I'm making baby steps, which is good. And like I said, I know that there's more art supplies out there that I have stored somewhere, and I don't know where they are, but when I find them, I'll go through them. I'll pitch the ones I don't like or don't use, or are just gross. Like a lot of these hashtag coloring ones, those were flat out disgusting. Like this guy. What happened to this thing? Like, I really have no idea. But a lot of these hashtag color ones, I had to just be honest and just throw out, because like, oh, I like the color, but I mean, honestly, I have them in here, so why am I holding on to this? So basically all of the hashtag coloring ones are out. They're going to be in the garbage, and I think, even though I feel like I can use maybe the chisel nibs, I feel like that wouldn't be fair to myself. But I will probably write down the ones that I need and see if I can find replacements, or if that means I just have to buy the whole new set. I mean, probably not be the most recommended considering I have all of these still, but I at least know what colors I like, and maybe I can find other markers similar to it. So who knows? But man, baby steps, just baby steps. There's nothing wrong with that. And like I said, I didn't realize how much of an art hoarder I really am until I started going through my stuff. I'm like, I have so much stuff that I just hardly use. So with that said, if you guys have any drawing ideas or color challenges using any of these markers, any of them at all, if you want me to do like a one marker challenge or a one shade challenge, or try to incorporate every single color into a piece, please let me know, because I would be down for any of those. But anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope this wasn't too mundane of a video, but I mean, sometimes you need a little mundane. Let's just be honest here. But thank you guys so much for watching. I will see all of you later. Stay creative, God bless, and of course, goodbye.